Alpha Reptile, back with another video today, and today we are here with the wonderful Indra. Welcome back.
Hello.
If you guys don't know who he is Technically Planted Tanks on Instagram. You guys might recognize him from my previous video of this massive 300-gallon tank behind us here. And in today's video, we're going to be talking all about it. This is the first of 3 videos in Indra's house, so make sure you click that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you do not miss the entire tour of his 150-gallon super skyscraper tank or a tour of his beautiful frog room. In case you haven't seen this video, the 300-gallon massive terrarium, I'll let Indra do the introductions.
So this is the 300-gallon terrarium. It's 5 feet long by 2 feet deep by 4 feet wide. The tank looks wildly different from what it used to in the past, and the reason why is because I moved, and as part of that move I decided that I wanted to change in this terrarium. The old terrarium had these really big logs that weren't super great for growing stuff on the ground, so I wanted to change that a little bit. I really just wanted more like branches and crap for planting epiphytes, especially because I taken a trip to Ecuador and I got engaged to my fiance there, and we spent a lot of our time in the cloud forest. I thought, okay, I need to like redo this terrarium bit to give it more of a cloud forest feeling that I had back in Ecuador. Took this entire terrarium apart, basically put all the plants into these just like big garbage bags. Getting haggard for a full week before I replanted the terrarium using the stuff that I had on hand, and this is where it is now. One of the key highlights of this cloud forest inspired terrarium is that we have a fogger, which basically recirculates water from that's get used in the misting, and then it would go through the entire system, go through a bit of mechanical filtration, and then goes into a sump. And then the water in that sump is used to create fog. So the way I do it is the fan turns on for the majority of the day, and then during that time, it pushes cool, humid air from the sump into the terrarium through 3 different entry points, and then at various points in the day the fogger will turn on. I use that to basically increase the humidity inside of the terrarium without saturating everything with water. That's really beneficial for things like orchids and like other plants that really appreciate the high humidity and like the high amount of air movement, and also like the temperature drops you get from the cool fog, but it doesn't saturate their leaves. Most plants don't enjoy water sitting on their leaves for too long, so that's kind of the benefit of the fogger there. I think it's a good way of recycling water you've used in your terrarium, because I don't really like wasting RO water. A lot of these plants, especially the orchids, do need that like a higher day temperature versus like and then a drop in the nighttime. This is a cloud forest inspired terrarium, and so it should have the elements of a cloud forest, meaning fog. There's some stuff you can't really replicate, I think, especially in the cloud forest. You'll get this like, it's not a fog, but it's like a really fine mist blowing really gently after the rains like come through. It's such a distinct feeling, I think, of the cloud forest, but I don't think you'll be able to replicate that ever in a terrarium.
So now that you've heard a little bit of the inspiration for this terrarium, let's talk about the
big changes for this tank. Are 1, I want to grow more cooler growing plants, just because I want it to be like a more like a true like cloud forest inspired terrarium. So I got rid of a lot of the intermediate, like the warmer growing stuff. I moved them upstairs into the 4-foot tall terrarium, and then in this one I planted a whole bunch of new stuff that was like more intermediate growing to cool growing stuff you'd find like higher elevation and requires more air circulation, requires like lower temperatures. They were doing really well for a while because it's in the basement, it's a cool environment. The problem is that the basement right now doesn't get warm enough for like large temperature fluctuations, and you don't really get these drops in this terrarium in the summer. I'm gonna try out a few different things going forward to see if I can fix that a bit to enjoy the terrarium more throughout the year. And one of those things might just be to put a kind of like a heat panel or something in the terrarium to make things warmer in the day. Talk about some of the plants that are here if you want. Not a lot of stuff is in bloom right now. In the past there were tons of stuff blooming, like there's tons of spent like flowers here. This is Pleurophthalus rollii. Lopanthes condorensis right here was going crazy before. You can see like tons of spent blooms. I think there's like 1 left here. Lots of plants are still doing really well though. It's like Racinea crispa, I think we talked about last time.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's popping like crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
When we first moved here, it was just going insane. Like, I don't know, this plant goes really well in most conditions, I think. Like I have them in the terrariums in the office, and those stay fairly warm and like at a pretty consistent temperature. So these are not super fussy about the growing conditions you have. Anthurium veitchii back here. This one's kind of newer, it's starting to put out a new leaf. There's tons of Spirospermum. I got a bunch of plants that I saw from when I was in Mashpee and in Mindo. I really wanted to grow them here, so there's a ton of stuff there. Some of the things that I saw a lot of were, again, the Spirospermum. This was everywhere in those higher elevation forests. Lots of Columnium minor. I don't have any that are in bloom right now. I actually just got them recently. You grow them for like these really awesome kind of like firework flowers that they produce. And I'm hoping I'll be able to get those this year because I really enjoyed seeing them in the forest. There's actually this like Pelea here that I also saw. I think I received this one as like Pelea Ophioderma or something like that a long time ago. But I saw this one in a few places when I was in Mindo, which was a nice surprise. Xanthurium cutuquense here. I saw a lot of this stuff here. This is Philodendron linhenanii, I believe, or Furcatum. I don't know. People get into hot debates over that topic. But in any case, I saw lots of this at Mashpee. This is Philodendron. I don't even know what it is. It's like some.
Is that the hybrid?
No, it's like I don't know. It's like I think it's like a new one that Equihana sent recently. It's like Amazon Sunset or some nonsense. So you can see the back is like super red.
Yeah.
Sounds like really, really red. So there's Ethereum or Aquinum. It's a popular one. More blueberries everywhere. Spirospermum. Yeah. Spirospermum. I think this one's Cortifolium. Again, lots of orchids that were blooming before and are kind of like spent now. Lots of ferns and stuff here as well. These Elaphoglossum. Just trying to point out plants that I saw quite a bit of in Mindo and Mashpee in case anyone wants to build kind of something more true to nature. I don't know, man. There's just lots of ferns everywhere.
Explain it. Like I've been to cloud forest before, so I know, but like most people wouldn't.
The way I would describe it is ferns are call them the weeds of the rainforest. I would say if you're trying to like create a terrarium just for the sake of creating a terrarium, I think it's whatever. But like if you're building terrariums for like these frogs or whatever, and you want enclosure that is more representative of their habitats, in my opinion, you should spend like 30% of your budget just on the green, boring stuff. So like your mosses. And just like your nondescript ferns and stuff like that. I think that should be a pretty big focus of the terrarium, and then the rest of the budget goes on like, all the other stuff.
And I can attest to what Indra is saying. If you're truly trying to recreate the cloud forest, there are different mosses and ferns covering every single surface available to them. In many places, the moss cover is so thick that you can't even see the branch beneath it. Now that we've covered a few of the plants in this terrarium, let's have Indra talk about how he lights it up.
The lights, those are also new. I got Ecotech radions after a lot of badgering from a friend. I do enjoy them, to his defense. No, they like legitimately they are really, really nice lights. Like they're really expensive as well, and I thought, oh, I don't know, man, it's a lot of money to spend on some lights. Plus, I'll need 3 of them or whatever to cover the whole space of the terrarium. But he was like, oh no, this new generation's like really, really nice. Like it's like you'll honestly like really impressed by them. Like, oh, okay, I don't know. And I was honestly, I was blown away by these lights. They don't produce a lot of heat, which I was really surprised about. They're also just like really, really strong. These are running right now at like probably 40%. And they're super bright still, so it can go like way, way higher. They also added like a lime diode, like an extra green diode, and it adds a lot, I think, to the visual impact of the enclosure. The diodes that you get from these lights they blow anything else in the market out of the water by a long shot. Only good things to say about them. Except for the price, they're a lot. Yeah. They're not the cheapest lights, but if you have like one enclosure and you want like something with a lot of visual impact, I would say that it is worth considering these lights as an option, I think.
That's going to do it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed. Before you click away, make sure to subscribe to the channel to see the super skyscraper tank that Indra built. Not only that, but make sure you follow him on Instagram to see his tank slightly more in depth. And for those of you that stuck to the very end, please let me know in the comments what videos you would like to see next time I'm with Indra, because who knows, it just might be your idea that we film next. I'll also be at a special event called Animal Con USA at the end of August for those of you who want to meet me in person, hang out, chat about reptiles, but links to all that stuff is in the description down below. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll catch you in the next video. Later.